Hi sailors, my name is Shishpal and welcome to my channel Maths Pirates. Hope your day is being good or hope your day is going good. This will be the final video of my playlist on zeroth epoch, which is waking up the mathematical mind. This is will be the final series of our playlist which we will be discussing about the question that changed everything, which had opened the new gates for number sense. Right? This video will be this final video of this playlist will be an open gate for another aspect, the first stage of epoch, where we'll be starting with the new aspect of number sense. Right? In this video, we'll start understanding the root way that led the people to consider to accept the numbers and seriously. In all the videos I explained in the playlist, we all understood few important aspects. The first aspect, humanity had learned to observe. They learned through observation. They learned through repeated patterns that nature is as showing to them again and again and again. Right? Humanity, they learned to compare so that they can find changes, how things are being changed with instants. Right? The humanity had learned to recognize. They recognized the repeated periodic patterns. Simply we can say periodic patterns. The periodic word itself mean repetition at same time duration. The humanity started recognizing, the best example of that recognition is Babylonians. So all considered the most wise and intelligent people in their time, whose recognition and observation had led to the foundation of calendar and clocks. According to their calculation, the moon had took around approximately 29 days. If we google it, we can see the moon nearly takes from full moon to half moon to the full moon again. We are familiar with the cycles that of change, periodic change in the shape of the moon, right? Those periodic changes, it takes around 29.5 days. If you google it, it will be approximately 29.5 days, which we considered as the timeline as a single month, which in calendar we consider it as 30 or 31 days. The most closest month according to the calculation of 29.5 days is February, which is 28 days, or in leap year it will be 29 days, right? And another thing, and another recognition is the periodic change in the motion of the sun. Hope you are familiar with the aspect of geometry, where the fundamental concept after discussing about points and line segments is called angle, representation of angle, right? When you view at the textbooks, the definition of angle is clear, but it's still unknown why literally the word angle is considered. What does it really define? Right? The unit angle is considered as, according to Babylonians, the unit angle is considered as the distance covered by the sun with respect to earth in a single day, right? I'm repeating once again, the distance covered by the sun with respect to earth in one day is called unit angle, which means 1 degree, right? Now it sounds a bit strange for us, right? Did why sun revolving around, sun moving around the earth? What type of statement is this? Because everyone, we are aware that sun, earth moves around the sun, right? But here the definition says that sun, the distance covered by the sun around the earth in one day. What type of statement is this? Here comes it, the answer lies in the physics called relative motion, right? Especially if you are a physics student, if you are fascinated about understanding physical phenomena, you are definitely, you are aware of relative aspect of relative motion, especially in kinematics, where you will be studying the trajectory and types of states of body, rather than considering the type of body, the material of the body, as well as the external aspects that are responsible for the state of change in the state of the body, right? In relative motion, suppose you are riding a bike, and parallelly another person is riding a bike beside you. You both are going in parallel. According to your vision, you see your eyes might start believing that the person beside you who is riding, he is at rest, and the other surrounding, the trees, the road, they are going backward, right? According to your perception, the rider beside you is at rest, and the trees and road and environment around you is moving backward, right? Does it really happen? Does the surface move backward? Does the surface have any motion? Does the surface change its position? No, right? It's the vision according to the your perception, according to the state where you are present, right? In purely speaking, in the terms of physics, it is inertial frame as well as non-inertial frame, right? Inertial frame, which implies an absolute reference coordinate system. The aspect of coordinate system you will be starting learning in coordinate geometry, right? Now this example helps you to understand. Now of course the earth is moving around the sun, but with respect to earth, with respect to the people's vision who are surviving on the earth, they observe that the sun is moving, right? It's all depending upon the perception of the person in their state of living, right? That's how the concept of angles came into play. According to their calculations, it was around 360 days. According to their calculations, in present we are calling 365 days, especially in leap year 366 days, right? According to their calculations, the sun took around 360 days to complete one cycle, right? That's why a single circle, it is considered as total 360 degrees, 1 degree for one day. And another recognition is patterns. Of course the patterns is directly interlinked to the foundation for calendar and timeline, right? The periodic change in the seasons, the periodic change in the shape of the moon, the periodic change in the position of the sun, the periodic change within the day, morning, afternoon, evening, and night. These repeatedly observed patterns of days, months, and years was a strong foundation for the foundation of time and calendar. That's how close the people used to live, especially Babylonians, in those days with nature, right? Now, now coming to the compulsion, coming to discussing the seeds that led to the compulsion of taking number sense as a serious aspect. Consider you are a farmer and you have certain count of buffaloes or hens. Consider you have certain count of hens, right? You have certain count of hens, which you might be representing the record of the count of hens using the substitute objects, using stones or tally marks or knots, etc. Now, for such huge quantity, if you are if you are if you are doing that same business in such huge quantity, it's a difficult thing to maintain that quantity of substitute objects, right? So you need to give certain new notations to denote certain quantities, right? That foundation has led to the compulsion of taking the aspect of number sense seriously, right? See, the quantity never remains the same, right? It changes. You have certain quantity of assets, you have certain quantity of stocks. After you perform certain trades, which means imports and exports, still you need to maintain the record of how many goods you have sent, how many goods you have received. You need to maintain a record of such changes, right? Which means the quantity changes. In order to maintain a record of such changes, it's difficult thing to change that substitute objects, right? So you need to have a specified standard notations, symbols that specially defines the quantity or the count of objects. This was the strong foundation for the introduction to the number sense, which we'll be discussing in the next playlist as a part of first stage of Epoch. Everything in this playlist which we were discussed was the zeroth stage of Epoch. In next playlist, I will be starting with the aspect of number sense, where we will be discussing different number systems of different genealogies, as well as coming and also coming to the closest part according to the curriculum that the school level mathematics has been designed now. Okay, we'll not only just learn the formulas and become problem solving machines. Because you are able to, you can solve more number of problems, it doesn't mean that you according to the school system you might be treated as a sharp student, but you barely understood what these concepts are really meant for. Why do they even exist? Being aware of such philosophical and general aspects makes you more curious and more fascinating to get deep dive into the world of mathematics and truly becoming sailors sailing the seas of knowledge, right? Hope you understood the revolution that led to the foundation of symbols for representing the quantity which called as numbers. Now that's it for this video. Let's meet in the next video, in the next playlist, next new playlist of first stage of epoch, which is the birth of numbers. So keep on learning, keep on deeping dive, sailing the seas of knowledge, and enjoying the world. Until then, bye bye.